Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate studio. With me today is Jiunn, Lou, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Good evening.
Good evening, all. Thank you for tuning into our evening program.
Seth is going to be on his best behavior in this video. Today we are talking about the Cordoba and Morales Finca Santa Fe FSG Cameroon. Cigars are Toro 6-inch by 52 ring gauge, come out of an undisclosed factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Cameroon. Binder is Florida Sun-Grown. Filler is from Nicaragua. It is blended by Azarias Mustafa Cordoba. Price point is $23. Cigar was released in May of 2021. And we picked these cigars up from the only place you can buy them, which is Corona Cigar Company in Florida. So if you're in the area, stop by, have a drink, have a cigar. Or if you're not close by, go to the website, coronacigar.com, and order some cigars. So with that out of the way, Jiunn, overall experience with the cigar.
I thought it was overall average. With Cameroon, granted, we don't really know where the Cameroon came from. But
How?
Huh?
Isn't from Cameroon?
No, but the actual wrapper, of course, I'm talking about.
It's called Cameroon.
No, but was it harvest? Is it grown in Cameroon?
It wouldn't be Cameroon.
That's debatable.
That's debatable.
All right. Anyways, well, usually it's like Cameroon. You get a good Cameroon. You get nice spiciness, sweetness to counterbalance. But this flavor profile, I thought was pretty subdued. It was a very low key, subdued kind of a profile. It was definitely get this hay grassiness that's prevalent throughout the whole cigar. Some cedars, nuts, very subtle baking spices. It was very it was subdued. So and I expected more. I do, if I remember right, I think Azarias is the guy that we talked to IPCP hours ago that really knew and appreciates Cuban cigars and appreciates balance a lot in cigars. So he doesn't like very spiky kind of cigars.
Yep.
And this is definitely that kind of a style. But I felt like this was teetering more towards being a little too subdued to the point where it felt a bit monotonous and kind of boring, So it was okay.
All right, Seth, what were your thoughts?
All right. I have to disclose a couple things. Going into this cigar, I saw that it was Cordoba Morales. I know Jeff was involved. I saw FSG. I saw Cameroon. I was jacked. Nothing
Good on paper.
Nothing could go wrong into this cigar. This was
it's really good on paper.
It looks well.
How about that pre-light?
Dude, everything was friggin' amazing, and I think it kept on going through. I actually enjoyed this cigar. First start, I was getting this really funky bubblegum flavor with this peppery spice, pretty crazy. And it had this tobacco, leather, cream, and coffee, medium full first third. Getting into the second, third, and final third, though, Junior, it really came down a little bit. Just not overly complex.
You can't see the closed foot on that either.
No. It's just great. It finished around the medium level in strength and body. The cocoa, cream, coffee, sweet spices, tobacco, leather. There was this balance you could kind of get between the FSG and Cameroon, I thought. It was pretty light, though. I can see what Jiunn's saying, but I liked it.
All right, John, what were your thoughts?
Well, it started out really positive. It was different. There was a lot of sort of a combination of, and I think the FSG really was quite prevalent here, prominent, I should say, because it was really sweet, musty orange citrus to start. And that musty orange citrus is exactly my mental fingerprint of the flavor of FSG. Then there's some baking spices and rye bread, dry wood, and then interesting herbal aroma that came through on the retrohale. So it was unusual but interesting and complex flavors going on the first third. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting take on FSG. And then there was some chocolate that came through, and orange citrus I think became a little bit more defined as it proceeded. But unfortunately, a lot of that complexity just kind of fell off, and it was really, I don't know the blend, but I would say for my palate, it was very FSG forward starting in the second third. So really that musty orange citrus was kind of leading the profile. And it became sort of a more monotonous combination of musty citrus and wood, which while it was pleasant, I wouldn't say it was overly engaging for my palate. And then the last third was really just musty wood and dry wood. So really kind of fell off in terms of, what the initial third offered, which was a bit disappointing. And while the burn was perfect for me, I had a very resistant draw, like 3.5, 4 notches. So quite a bit of resistance for each draw, which is a bit of a drawback on a cigar that's kind of this premium. So all in all, it's kind of just a slightly above average experience, which is unfortunate because I really like Cordoba and Morales and how they blend in a lot of their cigars. So, Aaron, how about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with musty toasted oak, black pepper, and rich earth. By the second third, the earth had become dry and kind of caused the overall profile to become fairly dry. Black pepper mellowed out as the cigar went along. I thought the cigar had a nice first third. It had a good mix of flavors, a nice richness to it. But unfortunately, that richness kind of faded away and the profile became dry kind of from that second third on. So it kind of took it down a level for me. I just feel like the two FSG versions of this cigar just don't live up to the original Finca Santa Fe. I enjoyed that blend a lot. And just these two other ones just haven't kind of met what I got from that first one. So if I came back to it, I'd be looking for that original blend. I wouldn't, I don't think the FSG ones would be the ones. And the price point's pretty high. So I think you have to really like it to want to come back to it, at this price point. So. All right, getting into the scores, going to start at the top with Seth at 7.17. Jiunn was next at 6.1. I gave it a 6 even, and John gave it a 5.65. So Seth, how'd that 7.17 match up for you?
Yeah, man, it matched up. This is what I'll say, and I put this in my thing. I think this cigar needs time. I think the cigar needs to be dry boxed, and I think you really need to put a lot of time into the cigar before you can get enjoyment out of the cigar. I think I scored it high, but I also kind of thought about that long term. So it's probably, as I admitted in the beginning, my scores on this probably a little jacked up. I got a little excited about everything going into this. It was looking like Cleveland Browns preseason, and now we're 3-3 going into Thursday with half the roster on the IR. So, I mean, I do think you need to put a lot of time into this. I think it needs to be dry box, and I think they're still young. And for the price point, that really kind of sucks. So that's going to be a shitter, to be honest, with consumers. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right, Jiunn, 6.1.
It's I actually had I pretty much have the same thoughts as you, Aaron. There's the subsequent ones since the original ones just haven't been that good. It is nowhere near the original, because the original I thought it was fantastic. The 6.1 on this, I did rate the first third good, but overall, I don't think it is worth the high price tag, and just the enjoyment factor really tanked after that first third for me. So. But
yeah, my 6 even matches up well. I mean, I scored it the same as Jiunn, except for I had a little bit of waviness in the burn. Otherwise, we were identical. But yeah, the first third was nice. I mean, it really had some good richness to it, and you got that kind of you get that kind of dirt complex that John talks about from the FSG tobacco, and it's nice. But when it can't hold up and it just becomes dry, that kind of tanks the profile a bit. So if it could have maintained that, we're talking about a different cigar, like, standard FSG blend, it can maintain that level throughout the smoking experience. Doesn't become overbearing on you at all. But it's just, two really good concepts and two really good ingredients on their own. But when they came together, it doesn't live up to what they have each done on their own, I don't think so. But people should try them and get, it's an interesting project. So, all right, John, 5.65.
Matches up well. I kind of expected it to be a little bit higher, but I guess the draw kind of held it back. So, if it wasn't for the draw, it probably would have been up in the high 5s, 585, 595 kind of thing. Bit disappointing, like I said, because I like Cordoba and Morales, and I've really enjoyed some of the FSG offerings. But as you mentioned, I think if the FSG is kind of left to drive the profile, then it just doesn't. It in this case just doesn't work. So a little disappointing. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts from you guys on this one?
Let's smoke some more baller cigars for review.
Yes,
We have more?
we
We
have
have
been
more
tackling
baller
some
cigars?
nice, nicely priced cigars recently. So
Yeah.
that's good. All right. If you just catch this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.